5th century, imperial rule in Gaul had collapsed. In the north, centered around the city of Soissons, the general Aegidius and his son Syagrius had carved out a kingdom that would last until the Frankish conquest in 486. However, in the east, in the city of Augusta Treverorum, or known better as the present-day city of Trier, there remained an isolated Romano-Frankish count named Arbogast. Its short rule shows an insight into the transhistoric period of Roman rule and the Merovingian Frankish rule. My sources for this video, as I'm probably about to have myself edit in, is The Late Roman Warlords by Penny McGeorge. And here is the book. I just gotta bring this up as proof that I know my stuff. But yeah, this book more focuses on Marcellinus and Julius Nepos in Dalmatia, Syagrius and Aegidius in Soissons, and Ricamere in Italy. However, page 75, if you guys can see it, I'll read it out, is the line that got me into looking into this rabbit hole. But we also know from a verse from Auspicius, Bishop of Toul, the Gallo-Roman Comes of Trier, Arbogast, who was descended from the 4th century Frankish Magister Militum of the same name. He assumes to have been regional ruler with both military and civil responsibilities. I'll explain that further as the video progresses, but again, I just wanted to show you guys I actually have the book. I'm not just getting this off Wikipedia. I know my facts. The book does provide more of a window into Soissons and more of an argument for whether it existed or not. But however, there is a mention of Arbogast, the topic of today's video. But Gusto Treverorum, so you can see here, was subsumed by the Ripuarian Franks listed on this map as being part of the general Franks, but it was ruled independently until somewhat in the 470s. Augusta Treverorum itself was founded in the early 1st century AD during the reign of Emperor Augustus. It was founded among the Gallic Treverian tribe. It gained increasing prominence under the rule of Emperor Constantine I, used as imperial resident in the West. Future emperors, such as Julian the Apostate, were used as the de facto capital during imperial visits and expeditions to the northern section of the empire. Jumping forward by the 450s with the death of Emperor Majorian at the hands of the Magister Militum Ricamere, the Magister Militum Pargalius Aegidius would sever communications with the imperial court in Ravenna. This connection had already been increasingly tenuous as the Visigoths and Burgundians expanded their control north and south of Gaul, strangling communication between the north and Ravenna. By the 470s, Aegidius and his later son Syagrius had concentrated power around the city of Soissons. Again, I will not go further on this, as that's the topic for another video. However, in the Moselle region, in and around Augusta Treverorum, a count is recorded as taking up residence there. A count by the name of Arbogast, referred to as Arbogast the Younger, to differentiate from Arbogast the Elder, was Magister Militum to Valentinian II, before replacing him with the pagan Emperor Eugenius. Both they would both meet their ends at the Battle of the Frigidus with the combined forces of Emperor Theodosius and the future barbarian commander Alaric. We know of Arbogast's existence by a series of letters written by the Bishop Aravini Sidonius Apollinarius, alongside an epistle by the Bishop Auspicius of Toul. In the letters, they praise the Romanists of Arbogast, who himself was a Romanized Frank, and they praise his education and faith. To quote directly from the letter, I've highlighted some sections, feel free to pause and read, but you have drunk at the wellspring of Roman eloquence, and no draughts from the Moselle take the taste of the Tiber from your mouth. And the Roman tongue is long banished from Belgium and the Rhine, but if its splendor had anywhere survived, it is surely with you. Our jurisdiction has fallen to decay along the frontier, but while you live, preserve your eloquence. Arbogast himself was in a rather tenuous position, ruling still nominally under the emperor. We can tell this by him taking the title of count rather than declaring himself king. But what emperor is confusing because he presumably was ruling in the name of the emperor sitting in Ravenna, but he also could have been ruling in the name of the emperor sitting in Constantinople. However, the Ripuarian or River Franks would periodically threaten his rule. He bolstered his forces with Frankish foederati soldiers. Makes sense, since he himself was of Frankish origin, albeit Romanized. He ruled basically as a warlord, wielding both the military and administrative powers, as he had no one above him and only those below him. However, by the 5th century, this would we would see Arbogast's fate change. By 5th century, I mean the 470s. 5th century is a lot of time to cover. Allegedly, he would be deposed and become the Bishop of Chartres by virtue of the bishop also being named Arbogast. This is a little bit about the Dark Ages. We don't really know what happens. His rule in the larger Frankish conquest would see the transition of Gaul to Francia and the birth of a new Frankish kingdom.